Hi everyone, in this video we're just going to talk about a rather sad subject in that what happens to your hens after they die. Unfortunately, if you're going to keep hens or any livestock, it's a fact of life that at some stage they come to the end of their lives and you've got to dispose of them somehow. Now, I'm not talking sheep or horses or cows or anything like that. There is a legal way of getting rid of those properly, and we're not going to cover that, but it's small animals like hens and things like that. So what do you do? Well, you could just throw them in the hedge, I suppose, and just let nature take its course. But unfortunately, nature taking its course means that foxes and other predators come around and make a right old mess. And it also encourages those things like foxes that you really don't want around the rest of your hens and animals, especially if you're lambing and things like that. You certainly don't want foxes around then. You could dig a big hole and put them in that, but you've got to dig a really deep hole. Otherwise, again, foxes will come around and dig them up and again make a whole mess. So what we do is we incinerate them in a really, really hot fire. And so what I've done is I've made a brazier out of just an oil barrel, really, a 205 litre barrel. I get it going with some paper, get that nice and hot, and then also what I've done is I've come down here, chopped up a whole load of pallet wood. Pallet wood's really good because it's made out of dry pine usually, and that burns really, really hot. And the secret to getting rid of hens after they've died, unfortunately, is to burn them really, really hot. You don't want anything left. You don't want any feathers, obviously, or any flesh or anything like that, but ideally you don't want any bones left either. And so you want everything to turn to dust, essentially. So it's not a particularly nice subject. If you don't like this type of thing, then you can switch off now. That's absolutely fine. But essentially, this is how we go about disposing of our hens that have come to their end of their lives. So with my dry pallet wood, I'm just going to chuck a few bits on there just to get it going. Pallet wood is superb. Pallet wood is superb, to be honest, and that is the type of wood I would recommend using. So anyway, that's only just started, so I'm just going to leave that going, and I'll come back in about 5-10 minutes or so. So this is about 10 minutes later or so, thereabouts, and it's getting really, really hot. I can feel it, even though I'm standing probably about 10 foot away, something like that. So I think now is the time to put our poor little girl on top and basically dispose of her in this manner. Now the thing is to put the hen right at the very top, and basically as the fire goes down, so too does the hen, and it gives it plenty of time to incinerate properly. And so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put her on top, and then I'm also going to put loads more firewood on top of her as well, so she really does go. So without further ado, let's do that now. So this unfortunately is our one of our little hens. She's been a super girl over the last 3 years or so. In fact, I think she's probably about 4.5, which for a commercial, not that we're commercial, but she was a commercial egg-laying hen. This has been a pretty good innings for her, to be honest. So unfortunately, it's her time to go now, and you know, it's just one of those things. Sad fact of life, but unfortunately it comes to us all, I guess, in the end. So I'm just going to put her on top and say goodbye to her. Okay. Okay, well, I didn't actually show the bit where I checked her on, but she is in there now. And she will take probably a good half hour to really, you know, go, as it were. I'll keep layering some wood on top, and we'll see how she goes in. Well, I'll have a look in about half an hour or so thereabouts. But it's a good idea just to keep the brazier going for as long as possible. Okay, we're about 10 minutes in now, and you can tell it's nice and hot because there's no smoke. Really, really hot braziers like this, they don't really produce much smoke at all when they get up to temperature. And so, yeah, she's well on her way to chicken heaven, I'm afraid. And yeah, I'll check back in probably another 20 minutes or so. I'll just keep adding firewood, and we'll see how we get on after that. We keep a mixture of hens here, to be honest. The ones in the back on top of that little box there, they are basically warrens and commercial egg-laying hens. They came from not a battery farm, but like a barn egg farm. Barn egg farm? That's not quite the right term, but barn eggs. They were the hens that laid those. I didn't describe that very well at all. And the other ones, the lighter coloured ones there, they are Wheaten Morans. I think that black one's a copper black. And this little fella here, who's not a fine specimen, I must admit, but he is also a Wheaten Moran cockerel. He's a nice chap, but he's a little bit disabled in that he's got a curvature on his back. Normally, we don't keep the cockerels, but we couldn't get rid of him. We're a bit soft like that. Rightio, we were about half an hour after we've started. I've just chopped up a small pallet with the chainsaw. I'm just going to put that on now, and I really think that will probably do us, but I think I'll check back in probably about an hour's time. But yeah, I think that's her gone now. So that's how we do it. It's not a particularly nice subject to talk about, but it is just fact of life, unfortunately. There is a saying that if you keep livestock, you're going to have dead stock, unfortunately. So that's it for this video. I hope, well, I say you hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm not quite sure whether that's really the right expression, but you know what I mean. It's just one of those things, unfortunately. So as I was going to do this dispose of this hen anyway, I thought I'd make a quick video for you just to show you how we do it. Okay, till the next one. Bye for now.